Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. Let's zoom in almost there after the first batches of, this is the first batch of games, so the first 48 games. Almost there. The last one's here in Group G. The first one we have Ryzeal, Fiendsmith currently leading 6 points. Versus, well, the other deck, also at 6 points. So this is an important one to see which deck is going to take on, at least going to take up the first place in here in this particular group. And this actually might be the first and second place, depending on, if this is like a 3-0, then another deck might still have a chance. Should we check it? But that might be the case. Anyway, so which deck has the advantage? I could definitely agree with the people here this time. There is an overwhelming... a huge amount of votes for Ryzeal Fiendsmith. It speaks for itself why, but not to forget Invoked Dogmatika with a sliver of Shadows. Well, it's basically Windalock featuring Schism, so it's not really Shadows, as you know, from a couple of years before this particular deck list. In Master Rule 4, yeah, because they were hindered by the Master Rule 4 mechanic. But this deck is not, so a deck list from 2022. It has access to a full Dogmatika package, which does hinder, nuke your opponent's extra deck to some extent. It gives some disruption, especially going first, and at the same time it puts up a Megaba much easier compared to the list we've shown before in the past. Because of the Master Rule 4 mechanic. Anyway, so this is an okay end board. The deck also, as you saw in the deck list, the deck also has access to Anaconda into Destiny, Hero, Phoenix, Enforcer to protect Winda. But because of that, their servant was basically locked from my extra deck, right? So let's see. Here in this case, going first, and Ryzeal already investing their Exit Ryzeal. I mean, Exit Ryzeal is an instant out to Winda if you still have your special summon. But yeah, like if they commit Exit Ryzeal before or after, right, with or before, right, and then Winda eventually hitting the field, then wasting their aggregator, then you are in a very solid position. Okay, so let's see. This hand going second is okay-ish as well. Nip. I mean, Nip against Caesar. You're basically forcing an early Nip here in this case. So any form of Ryzeal card will take it eventually, because they will end on the field spell plus detonator, and that is probably more than enough to combat this particular hand, especially with double fusion destiny in hand. And yeah, we already used up Ash and Nip, right, and even then they can still put up a detonator. Plus they have hand traps and follow a play for next turn, as long as the token stays face up on the field. So we can imperm detonator, but is this enough? This is not going to be enough because of fail or because of Ash. Yeah, they will definitely Ash the fusion destiny, and it's only once per turn. Yeah, you can use it once per turn, right? Yeah. Okay, well done. This opening hand is good as well, very similar to the first opening hand with any access to Alistair. I would probably do the same, negate Alistair and hope that there's no invocation, otherwise you're punishing your opponent for doing that. Could make sense. Again, very similar, so we're locking ourselves from the extra deck, because of the extra light, and of course Dogmatika package. That's it, right? Yeah, still a weaker board, again, kinda relying on Winda, and that's not that great. Only Winda, that is. So let's see. So we're going for Schism. Callby. Right, Callby is an out. So that gets rid of the only Shadow name in my graveyard, so no fusion. Because both Winda and Construct, they need a Shadow. And there is no Shadow in the grave. So this hurts. This hurts a lot. Here we are forced to drop the Fleur. Yeah, Fleur de Lis to negate a monster effect. Maybe could have used her much sooner on Lacrima, maybe. I mean, the Engraver always would have hit the field. Equipping the Link one and then popping, so the threat was always there. And on top of this, Fiendsmith package pivots into rank 4. At least it empties your board, it makes it so that you can still use all of your Ryzeal cards. So this hurts. This hurts a lot. They still have the field spell for a draw? No, they don't. Okay, so they kind of invested a lot into Detonator. And yeah, they can pop the Link one, they can pop the Schism, even though Schism is not great for now. We draw Invocation though, but this is not going to be enough. Yeah, this is, yeah, let me see, like, oh no, Mekaba is only, yeah, that's the thing, Mekaba is only 2500, and sure, we can take Alistair back from the banished pile to potentially Honest, right, or Mekaba, but, you know, Detonator will just pop. Yeah, Detonator, insane cards. Plus a field spell, negating the Invocation Surge. Okay, so 1-2. 1-2 behind. But again, we are going first now in game number 4, so there's still that of potentially a much bigger, you know, a much better board. So let's see. Prosperity for 3, because the extra deck is somewhat valuable. Yeah, Invocation again, very similar, almost very similar again. I mean, now we do have Troll, so again, not the Servant, but we already have the Maximus, so kind of iffy. We get, yeah, so no banishes. Okay, this hurts a lot. Plus double hand trap on their part. We are seeing an Imperm as well. So this is not that great. We do have Fleur de Lis for a monster effect negation, plus Schism. You're going for Schism now to prevent the special summon. Is this enough? That's the question, because they already had to invest into a special summon. Sure, Imperm is still there. Fleur de Lis again prevents the exit Ryzeal for potential follow-up plays. We see, you know, there's still follow-up plays ready for next turn. But let's see, what can we do? We should be able to put out Makaba if it wasn't for Imperm. Yeah. Plus I still have Draw, so let's see. But this is not enough. We can search the trap. That's strong. That's really strong. For more disruption, send Antis extra pop. There's still Winda, so they need to top deck. Like, wow, what's an out? Droplets? Droplet is an out? Or exit Ryzeal, yeah. For Aggregator, is Aggregator still there? It is. So they can shut down the Winda, but we can pop, so prevent the bigger Exceed summon. So now the question is are they able to deal with the board? Yeah, no, they don't. So, okay, 2-2. The disadvantage though is now we're going second. So, and again, the sneaky call by. Like the one-off call by? Not going to lie, but I mean, if this deck has a chance, it's hoping you're floodgating your opponent. I mean, Detonator on the other hand is also a disgusting card. So we're nibbing on the effect, so no search this turn. But there's still a Fiendsmith, and that's the problem. Like, the fact that Fiendsmith recurs every turn is a problem for an older deck, even though this is a decklist from 2022. So, kinda recent still, but Fiendsmith is so strong. Omnication plus recurrence and re-put that Omnication back in the extra deck, so insane. Get Failure, but we can dodge Failure, so this is a super strong play. The question now, I don't think we're able to put up Maximus. So again, opening with Maximus, that's iffy. And there is no extra deck monster in the graveyard, otherwise we would have dropped Maximus, right? Yeah, we're sacrificing it because of Makaba, so this is an okay field. Maybe should have kept Droplet. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But what after that, right? I mean, Droplet was probably needed for extra protection, though. Like in case of this. Engraver hitting the field. The problem, though, is that sure we can use Droplet, negate Engraver, but if you don't draw anything remotely playable during my turn, we're probably a goner, because Engraver special summons itself again. You know, huge deal. There it is. We can negate the monster effect though. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're ashing that one. Wasn't using Makaba better? Maybe Imperm. Maybe Imperm. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. This is a fantastic top deck, but they have Ash on there. Like, fair enough. Like, before, instead of drawing the like Ash, it could have been this. It could have been Bonfire, and now Bonfire, one card. GGVP, so it shuts down Makaba, even though I don't have a discard. This is full combo for Ryzeal, so it was relatively close, especially with Invoked Dogmatika starting off. Having access to Winda, you know, sure the deck has some ways to get rid of Winda, it's still a problematic card. But like in the end, the floodgates, artifacts, etc. They are more than, and of course, Exit Ryzeal is a ridiculous card on its own. So I think we have a well-deserved winner. Ryzeal taking it with 9 points here in this particular group, and Invoked, the Dogmatika, ending up with 6 points. So that means the next one, in the next couple of days, it doesn't matter. Won't matter. Yups. Infernal Monites versus Spirals. But again, feel free to leave your predictions. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Riddim signing out. Peace.